Hey everyone, welcome back to Breaklight Productions. My name is Curtis Lambert and today we're reacting to Stellar Circuit's I See Your Spirit. Let's jump on into it. Ooh! Loving this color already. This like orange lighting is fucking awesome and they've got it flickering. Hell yeah. Ooh, love that close-up of the fire just then. This shot of like him front on, super nice. Like I love the lighting on him, like the shadow use and stuff, so good. Ooh, good transition. Ooh! Hell yeah. Those like white shots of like close-ups of eyes and mouths and stuff, really fucking cool. Oh, so cool. The energy in this music video. Oh, bit of bokeh in, nice. Hell yeah. Awesome crossfades. Really suits the tempo of the song right now. Oh, hell yeah. The energy picks up again immediately in the intensity of the shots, but also the camera shake and the editing. And I feel like a lot of that is artificial shake being added, which we'll go into detail about. Hell yeah. Awesome. God, that was cool overlay there. I love his emotion in these, yeah, straight to camera shots. It's so fucking intense. Damn, he's like legit crying. That's fucking, like, that's tough. Good on him. Obviously there's ways to sort of fake that, but at least to me it looks real. Oh, I love that overlay bokeh. Hell yeah. Really simple lighting for this as well, which isn't a negative thing. Like, it's just, yeah, it's really impactful. Got that artificial shake coming in quite a lot now. Hell yeah. Yeah. Ah, that was cool. Alright, let's talk about it. Yeah, damn. Okay, so that was the first song I've ever heard by Stellar Circuits. Really like that style. Sorry if I keep rubbing my eye, by the way. I've got like something in it, it feels. Anyway, cracking on. Let's talk about it. So, first off, we'll get the simple, well, I say simple stuff. It's not simple. But we'll get the basics sort of out of the way. Editing, really energetic. Really loved it. I feel like a lot of the camera shake we saw throughout in the more intense moments is artificially added in post production, which is super fine and honestly the safe way of going about it. Get your nice clean shot, and then if you feel like it needs a little bit of extra afterwards, that's fine. Easier to add it in post than to take away camera shake in, post. So yeah, super super cool. um I also like the fact that said camera shake, but also editing style completely changed when we got to that quieter part of the song, where it basically just started cross fading from one shot to the other, because yeah, it was slower. The shots were a lot more like static and flowy, rather than like all of this camera shake on top. I also love the fact that they started introducing elements like the fire being overlaid with him. I absolutely adore this overlay with him looking down camera with these orange lights that are bokeh around him. Now that could either be overlay or it could be like actually done in camera. It's quite simple to do that. But I would say just for the sake of like the fact that we've seen clean shots of him in this position with no bokeh lights, I would imagine that that's something that's been added in post production, which again, much easier to add it in post than to take it away in post. So I fully understand that. And yeah, it's just really beautiful. So when I say bokeh lights, what does that mean? Well, it's basically bokehs. Obviously, I'm not going to give a perfectly scientific, technical explanation. Apologies. But it's essentially you see these giant, well, not giant, but these circles around him. And what that is when you go so out of focus on a light source, it does just become this circle. Um, so, how, yeah, now it could be a foreground element. So, like, let's say you're focused to the midground. Bokehs could be lights that are in front of like, in the foreground, that are out of focus and thusly, like, creating interesting, like, elements in front of your subject, or they could be in the background as well. They could be the backgrounds out of focus, and so you're getting bokeh lighting back there. It's really, really cool to use for music videos and such, and also for beauty reels as well. It just, I don't know, like adds it adds an interesting foreground element to work with that isn't just like, I don't know, like cheesy and distracting or whatever. Obviously, there is a fine line between, like, it's very clear when you've used too much bokeh. But, a bit is really cool. And a great way of getting bokeh shots on a really cheap budget is literally just go out and buy a bunch of fairy lights. Because you can hand those in front of your subject, and you've got to obviously get the distance right, where they are fully out of focus while your subject in the midground is perfectly in focus. But yeah, and you just either get someone moving them or have a fan blowing them or whatever, and you'll get these like moving bokehs throughout your shot, which is really cool. The only downside is if you don't light it correctly, you can see, like with fairy lights, you can see the wires connecting them. So you've got to, wherever you have those fairy lights, you've got to make sure there's as little light on them as possible so that you're not seeing the details of the wires. But even then, like if I was to look at this bokeh in, like you could just see, like it's obviously very out of focus, but you can sort of see where those wires would be by the fact that there's this reddish undertone sort of connecting the bokehs there. So yeah, makes perfect sense. Like that, these would be fairy lights that, yeah, they've filmed in a bokeh way. What else can we talk about? So that was, yeah, editing and cinematography. Yeah, fucking great. Slowed down when it needed, when the sun slowed down, sped up and got really hectic as the sun went more and more hectic as well. Which again is a phenomenal understanding of breaking down your client's track and being like, okay, this is where our different elements are going to come in, and we're really going to yeah, throw in that extra sauce to keep people entertained. Now let's talk about lighting and just the like typical lighting here. So no fancy like bokeh stuff, but we've got some practicals in this room which are awesome. By practicals, I mean you can actually see it in the shot. It's part of the scene. So we've got sort of these light bulbs hanging down, and they use those to great effect as top lights, as some backlighting, and also like I saw some shots where they sort of had one like actually swinging side to side, which always creates an interesting effect as well. Now, one thing you may notice is that those light bulbs are flickering. How are they doing that? Or not flickering, I should say, like they're dimming. How are they doing that? Well, there's two ways. Either all of that could be wired up to a dimmer board, where you have someone there who is, actually like, got the board and is doing the dials up and down and blah, blah, blah. The other option is there are lighting companies out there, especially for film, where you can buy specialty bulbs that you can fully control. Just like the tube lights and stuff that I'm using here, you can fully control it with your phone or with an external remote, sort of like this one here, which controls my neon sign. Yeah, you can get bulbs that work the same way. So you could have someone like with a dimmer board who's controlling it all on their phone, or if they're specialty brands like Aperture or something like that, they actually have inbuilt settings through the app, through the lights themselves, where you can be like, okay, I need this to be on a like flicker effect, and you just hit a button and it'll just automatically like do it for you. So that's sort of three different ways, if you like, that you could sort of get that effect. which is really, really cool. Um, the band's super into this performance, and I fucking love it. Again, can't be understated. If you're gonna do a music video, bring the energy. Like, even if you're doing a slow song, like, I want to feel the emotion of that song, and it is hard being a director and, like, you may not really know the client that you're working with. It's your first time working together and stuff, and you're trying to bring out that energy and stuff, but like, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and so my advice always to, like, musicians, even when I'm, like, first chatting to them, is like, you've got to come ready. Like, don't expect, like, to show up feeling sort of blah, and that I'm gonna give you some magical pep talk that makes you go, like, fuck yeah, let's do a music video. Like, no, you have to come pumped, hyped, like, fuck yeah, we're going to look like superstars in this music video. Like, and that's, yeah, regardless of what genre you're doing, regardless of what the song's about, like, you have to bring that energy, that performance. Think of it like being on stage. I get that it's a lot harder to wrap your head around that, because you're probably going to do the same song 10 times and this, that, and the other, but tough shit. You gotta bring your A game, essentially. So yeah, interesting use of these bulbs in here. Are these the only lights in the room? No, they've got other lights that they're using as more front-on lighting as well, that they've got on a similar flicker effect. Especially in this, like, close-up push in, pull out of him just by himself vocalizing to camera. Really, yeah, really, really subtle. And again, your brain just connects it to those lights that we see in the shot. And so, like, you're not thinking, like, oh yeah, there's, 3 other lights in this room. It just feels like it's organic, which is really, really cool. And also, the particular settings they've chosen and stuff gives it that fire feel, which is really awesome. And we see that sort of incorporated once they bring in those VFX fire shots as well. I love a lot of these just interesting angles, like this angle of the drum kit. It's not just front on with the cymbal or front on with the snare. It's like a sort of strange where we got the cymbals in the foreground, the snares like the mid-ground, and then like the big tom is the background of this shot. Like, it's a very interesting angle, but also getting shots like I also see around here, like, just almost like a real close-up of, like, the guitarist or the bassist, their hair, just like as they're headbanging. It's like not front on with them, it's not like looking at their face or whatever, it's just capturing a close-up from the side of their hair, like, as they're headbanging, which really fucking cool. We also see this incorporated when we get to these really overexposed daytime shots, which I love because it's so jarring, it's so creepy, and just, yeah, like, yeah, it definitely brings in some sort of, like, spirit vibe, which obviously, the song's about. But I just love how overexposed it is and bright, and it's always these interesting angles. It's not front on with the mouth, it's like extreme close up from the side looking at his teeth. It's like, yeah, it's really like unsettling, and I love that fact. Like, and then we go from that like overexposed like all light shots to a lot of these performance, and especially when this shot of him to camera where they are utilizing like so much shadow that like I fucking love it. Like everything behind him is just black void, and then like his eyes have the tiniest bit of eye light in them. Like, and this is why I say the importance of eye light. If you didn't have that tiny bit of eye light, his whole eye like pupils would just be black. Like the irises would just be black in this shot, which would be scary as fuck. And yeah, and so much of his face is just in shadow here. I almost feel like this light that's lighting him up on this one particular shot I'm looking at, which obviously it changes throughout, especially because they are flickering. But this one particular one I feel is like the lights beneath him looking up, because we get sort of on the inside of the brow here is the most light, and the underside of the nose. So yeah, really fucking cool. I love that, in all honesty. And yeah, like I think that's all I can really touch on for this one. Just really cool. Again, a great example of what you can do with just really just a band performance, but like you can do it in ways that are unique and haven't been done to death, and that suit the tone of your video in a way that like shooting it normally wouldn't fit that tone. Yeah, really fucking cool. So yeah, you know, I look forward to seeing more music videos from Stellar Circuits, especially if they're like this one. And yeah, thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, comment any other music videos you want me to react to, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.